Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. We're back with another episode of To Be Quite Honest, the podcast. As always, my name is Ore, and I have my co host with me.
Big Ben.
And we have a very, 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 in fact, when someone says a jala, like the biggest fish, we have like a big babe with us.
Yeah.
We have the very special, in fact, you know how when you go to a church for, you know when you go to like church program, they want to this guest speaker, should now be humble like
Yeah,
this.
put her
Now
hands
say a
between her
woman
legs.
of inestimable value.
I love it.
That's what we have. We have a very seasoned, in fact, she has a decade of experience in her field. So she's definitely someone who is very primed to speak on this topic. This week we're going to discuss just how our spaces affect our mental health. So more or less like interior design, the layout of our spaces, how habitable they are, and how they affect us. Morenike is no, let me introduce yourself. Let me not say let me not say Morenike. Yeah. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you,
we're
Big Ben.
glad.
Thank you, Ore.
We're
Thank
glad,
you for
we're
having me.
glad,
My name is
we're
Morenike
glad.
Molei, and I'm the founder and current CEO at Okantik. Okantik is an interior design company, one of the leading interior design companies in Africa, if I may say so. And like you said earlier, we have 10 years of experience. This year will be 10 years, and we've done over 400 residential projects and over 80 commercial projects.
Wow.
So, during that journey, we've seen everything that our eyes can probably see
Under the sun.
under the sun.
We've seen all
But
of
we are
it.
still here, and I'm grateful for the journey thus far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. 10
I
years.
know
10
she's
years
about four.
is
You
a
said
long
400
time.
homes.
Yeah, over 400
Yeah, over 400
residential
homes and about
projects,
80 commercial projects. That's
Fantastic.
almost
10 years.
500 in 10 years.
Tell me what. Okay,
amazing.
before we even get into like what we want to
Yeah.
talk about, like what's your best and worst experience? You don't have to call anybody's name, but what's like your best like project you've worked on that you think back and like over that almost 500 homes, you're like this one I did like.
Yeah, it was
If they
extra
wake me up in
special.
my sleep, if I can get 1 million more clients, if they can all be like this project.
So I think that for me, right, I know this question, I usually get it a lot, especially from people that are upcoming and saying, I'm going into this field and I'm so scared, what has been your worst experience, what has been your best experience? And I would say that for me, I don't know if I will call it worse, but I think that every time that we take on a project, we try to understand the psychology of the client.
Okay.
And say, okay, this kind of person from the consultation, from, speaking to them, you can already tell and place them. So I always tell my team members that, see, look, this our job also involves psychology as well. When you enter, you need to understand the temperament of each client. One client can say, I want you to always update me every day or every week on the progress of the project. Another can say, please, I don't have time. Like, if you are disturbing me so much, why did I pay you? So you need to, and so if you're now disturbing that client, you can have a very bad experience.
Okay.
Now, there's one particular project. So I try as much as possible not to say that everything I see is at the learning
Curve.
Exactly. Let's put
Great.
it in that light.
Okay.
But this particular client, right, she was just really difficult. And we tried as much as possible to ensure, because I always say that you never can tell, where you will meet in future, or even how this client would even help you bring other jobs. But you just want to always live on a good note. I want to go outside, I see you at a restaurant and
I don't want to be hiding
hello,
from
I don't want to be running and
Yeah,
hiding,
yeah.
right? So regardless, no matter how difficult it is, do all that you need to do. But I would just say, from experience, like whatever it is that we've done that, we were like, oh, you see, this project showed us shege, probably, just the client being difficult on our
Okay.
own end, right? So that's what I would say. For our best projects, I can't even pinpoint, right? Because they're just most of the time, like 95% of the time, and I'm not even proud, most of our clients are always satisfied, and it's always like, okay, you can't really tell because most of them become family, and then we've had clients that they've used us more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. In fact, one of our clients called us last week, and this is the 4th time that we'll be working on with her, right? Either at her store or her home or at another project.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, is it that she
so-
bought 4 houses? Actually, I thought, is that she did baby room once, and she now said, okay, come and do the parlor tomorrow.
So she had like her own commercial project that we did for
Yeah.
her.
Okay.
Then in the house as well, she decided to phase it, right? But then
okay.
they were like at different points in time.
Because when I said this is the 4th time,
Yeah,
like,
this is the fourth
Mama has
time,
bought 4 houses,
yes,
economy.
yes.
She has bought 4.
But then we have clients that we did their rent. We did their houses when they were in rented apartments.
Okay,
And then when they
and
now
they bought
built their
their-
bought their houses,
Oh.
they
Later on,
called
they
us
got an
again.
investment
In fact,
property
even
and-
another client that rented apartment, then they built their house in Lagos, then they now moved outside Nigeria. and they called us to come and do their project outside of
International
Nigeria.
Wow.
pie.
Wow.
Yeah,
An
I love
international
that one.
pie. My girl is global.
Wow.
She says they call when they moved outside, they
Please.
called us.
They just called. They called
So I'd like
us.
to know.
Yes.
I'd like to know how you started. Why interior decorating?
Yeah.
Why that? I mean, there are 1,001
And I know
things you could have
he
done.
started acting now.
No.
What did you-
Mathematics.
yeah, I was
2
like-
degrees
Oh, wow.
in mathematics,
Yeah, I was
commercial
gonna say.
mathematics, and then financial mathematics
Wow.
and computation. So
I mean,
for me, I did not know that I was going to do interior design until I got married.
okay.
So I got married, did up our space at the time. We were living at 1004, so we did it up, just young girl, just put it together. And then I would see that every time that people walked into our home, people would always compliment, "Oh, your house is so beautiful." In my head, I'm thinking, why will your house not be beautiful?
Yeah.
Which kind of thing be that one? So, but then my husband then said, "Why don't you consider doing this as a business?" No, I don't think so. First of all, I need to go into, I have to
Learn it.
take a course and all of that. And I was already working in a consulting firm at the time. So, but then, he was like, what's the worst that can happen? Just start 1 year. If you know that you're not interested, you can check out. Exactly. I think that was the biggest scam of all, because 10 years later,
Yeah, still here.
Still in it.
we are still here. So that's how. But in fairness, growing up, my mom, is the one that is like the interior person, but she never did it as a business. But she was that female in the family where when my uncles, my aunties, anybody in the family buys the property,
She'll go and
she's
look
the one
at
that they will
it.
call and say, "Please come help us to choose curtains, come help us to paint, come help
okay.
us to." And every time that she travels up till date, every time that she travels, she would always buy decorative items and then always rearrange the house. So you can go to my mom's house today, go in another 1 month, and
She has changed.
she has
Changed
changed.
something.
So she was that kind of person. So I think that I grew up, it's because I grew up in that space, so it was
Got
natural. It
inspired
came
by all
natural,
of that,
exactly. So I
yeah.
was inspired. So she always said that I'm the one that took up a business idea.
Exactly.
So she didn't make money out of it, but she was just doing it happily. So that's how I stumbled into.
I think it's only
interior
fair you
design.
give Momsy like maybe a
I
title.
know,
or
I
like
know.
something.
I'm sure you're sorting her
I'm
out.
sorting her out.
Well,
She
I
knows.
found it so interesting that you said that probably because you grew up in that space, it sort of really influenced,
Yes,
like,
it
how
did.
you
Yes,
ended up here,
yes.
even if you study mathematics.
Yes,
and I
yes.
find that, so what I'm trying to understand is how well do our spaces affect, like, us that live in it? What are the, like, impacts? Or what do you feel the influence of its spaces? I mean, and just minus, your house is nice.
Yeah. No. So honestly, it really affects like our mental well-being, right? So you walk into a space and you can tell whether you feel relaxed, whether the space is, chaotic. You just can't even place. Sometimes you enter into a space and you're like, oh my God, you don't know what it is. But then the interior designer has done an amazing job, because with lighting, with color, with, texture, material, different things, right? Sometimes you enter into, when you get into a spa, right? You already feel like that calm sensation.
the
Yes.
ambience is
And at the
good.
same time, like for your office as well, your office has to be extremely designed well, that it promotes and aids efficiency. But then for the house, I would say you want to come to your house and you feel calm and relaxed already. Imagine coming from, you're entering
Traffic.
Lagos traffic, 6 hours.
Yeah.
You get home and then your house is just really chaotic. I had a client, some years back, that we went for the consultation and they were like, oh, we ask questions. How do you want the space to feel like? All of that. And the client just kept on saying, I want red everywhere. Red. I said, okay, no problem. I understand that you
want
love red, but maybe
but
we'll
so
make the walls
shades,
neutrals and then just hints and pops of red. Person, no. Red walls, red couch, red this. I said, what's happening? I'm already stressed. Do you understand? Do you understand?
not even
Just
moved
stressed already thinking
I'm
about
not gonna lie. This reminds me
It
of
was-
me. So when I first moved to the island, I think in 2016,
That's
I
red.
yeah, sure, I'm
I
getting
have
to
to run
So
away from.
I think I was on Pinterest and I saw this house. I saw this house that had like, it was not exactly red, it was like wine, and I liked it. So I called my painter, from the mainland,
Wow.
Moscow. I'm very sure. I was like, Moscow, come down, come and see my new place, come and help me. So the guy was like, Big Ben, so we had to find this guy. I'm like, just get some clothes. Now, I did not stay back to monitor this guy.
Bam.
right? I just gave him money to buy paint and everything. When
Very
I got
good.
back,
Yeah, shrine.
I felt like, as I entered my living room, I felt like I was joining a cult.
Yes.
Literally.
I feel
You
like
know?
it's so unfair that they associate that color with, because red is the color of
Yeah.
love. But if I've turned
Yeah.
into like
Man,
cultist, it's not good.
So
It's
I
not
mean,
fair.
like that day was just giving Ogboni vibes.
you know,
Like
that's the
I was just
word. That's
like,
it.
I was like, no,
Did
like
you
there's
follow
a
up?
way.
Did you do the project?
Thankfully, Shad, we didn't go ahead with that project. It wasn't even now about the colors, right? It was
Other
now
things.
other things. So, and I was grateful because I was
Because you
thinking,
could see that
I'll be
down the
like, yeah,
line.
no, down the if they call and say, who was your interior designer? I don't pray that
Mention
they
it,
mention
Right
yeah.
there.
our
So
names. Yeah.
I've been into quite a number of houses, right? But there are some houses I go into. There's literally no furniture in it. But the minute I go in, I just feel this calm. You know, the painting, the house,
The color,
the color,
textures
you know,
they've used.
there's something about it. So before now, I used to think interior decor was basically the furniture and all the other fittings, right?
Cutting and lights.
But I've seen that you can actually, get some feeling. You can draw something from even an empty space
Yeah.
with just maybe some curtains,
Elements.
nice
So you see
paint.
some people that are extremely,
What's the science behind that?
extremely minimalist, right? And they don't want to, because for them, it feels like there's just so much distraction going. In fact, some people that are into painting, they just want like clear walls, less distractions, very minimal. You might probably just have one bench somewhere, and then they're working, and then for them, that's what inspires them. When you put too many things, they just feel they don't like they don't they feel overwhelmed, and then they don't really tap into their creative juice or whatever. So I would say that all of these elements, you need to understand, the person needs to understand themselves, what they want, what they feel, and then you can then design your space to suit your your typical lifestyle.
Okay. So now go. I'll go
All right,
after
so
you.
I just want to continue from where you are. So when you understand your personality, the things you like, and how you operate, basically, how then do you translate all of those into a space that actually allows you to be more of you, to thrive in your own skin? How do you do that?
I mean, like, again, so once you identify how you want your space to feel like, right, because there are different elements in design, right, you have to then balance and ensure that everything is harmonized. So proportion, scale is very important. There's some times where one furniture, you put like different furniture pieces, and then it's not balancing properly, or the flow isn't working, it's not harmonizing, or you enter into a space and you're thinking, okay, it's not giving you like some vibe. So sometimes you see some spaces, and then it has like nature infused into it. So you have like plants, you have like wall art that connotes like peace, tranquility, all of that. So all those elements you need to be able to understand and see how it fits and works for your space and for you as an individual.
Interesting. I thought we were going to close like this is the science. Like, if you're a peaceful person, it's
Yeah,
color white. If you like to fight,
Like those
it's
colors,
color
like,
purple.
yes, like colors, the colors are
That's-
extremely instrumental to these things, right?
okay.
So you have like warm colors, you have like some colors. So you have like greens, blues. Those colors are like soothing. Even yellow as well.
Really?
Yes. They are
Maybe
like
shades.
Yeah, the shades. Yes, they are soothing as well. So if like we had talked about red before, right? Red. You see that restaurants, for example, they put red in their designs because it invokes hunger, actually. Yeah.
Interesting.
So your appetite increases, like when you're in a space that has like red in it. So, and then you also, but if you want to use it in like residential homes, you need to be very careful how you infuse it, right? If not, it can just be a bit chaotic. So, but again, it is red connotes power as well. So you just need to be able to balance it properly if it's for residential projects. So colors actually do
Play a big role.
Yeah, very big role. Very big role.
I was just going to ask you about, I know now there's a huge push for wellness, and not even just in the space of like self-care, but wellness in like the actual, we need to exercise, we need to sleep. How well or how influential are spaces when it comes to like our circadian rhythms with lighting? Is that something you guys play around with as an interior
Yes,
decorator?
lighting, even scents as well.
Okay.
Like when you go
Yeah.
into a space and it's really the candles, diffusers are like really nice. It also plays a lot like in our sensual. How do you speak that English? Yeah,
Assessment of the
exactly,
space.
exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
fair.
And then you already feel relaxed as well. You're feeling cool, feeling good. So those like play a huge factor in the spaces. So I would say scent, lighting, the
So
colors.
like
Yeah.
I'm going to like my room now, for
Yeah.
instance. So I want to now become very restful.
Yes,
Because now I live in Lagos, I'm not very restful. So if I want to like
I think that you're speaking for everybody, almost everybody.
Yes,
some people are resting in this Lagos, so some people are resting. But me, I want to start really like now. So if I say I want to really rest now, are you now saying that I should now start thinking of okay, candle scents in my room,
Very
maybe
important,
no
yes.
white light after 6. I should get
In
a
fact,
floor
white
lamp.
light, I don't usually put white light at all in resident.
bedroom.
In fact, even in all the spaces.
Really?
Yeah. I prefer like warm, except the
lights.
client request specifically for white light, right? So you have like the warm white, you have like the white as well. So for me, I prefer white in like official spaces.
I was say bathroom.
Bathrooms as well, but generally like living rooms, bedrooms, I would play with warm white lights. So yes, that's very important. Scents, even plants as well, in the space, the mattress that you
I was
even
going to say
use.
color based, but I was like, let's get there. I was going to say things like
Yes,
the
things like
quality
that. Yeah,
of
the
your
quality of the
sheets,
sheets as
the
well. Yes,
color of
the color of the
as
sheets.
well.
Yes, a very
So
very
they would
important.
also impact
Yes,
like
yes,
sleep.
yeah.
That's very interesting because I mean I know hotels always use white sheets. Is there like a science behind? Is there a reason why, or
And so
it's
because
just easier to manage?
well, white
As
is
in,
not
no,
I
it's
think
like
just
so that if it's
yes,
connotes
dirty
yes.
now, you can tell.
cleanliness.
Cleanliness, and then also they also probably don't want to like invoke some feelings from some people. Maybe they use colors that some people don't
Like,
like.
yeah.
Imagine just coming into a hotel room and then you're seeing red or you're seeing
Or
blue and it
blue
takes
bed
you off.
sheets, and then
Blue bed
but you
sheet,
don't know why
exactly,
you're
but you don't
annoyed.
know why you're annoyed. Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
So
okay.
white is like calming,
Really plain
it's
it
yes, very
safe.
plain. Yeah, exactly, plain
Oh,
itself.
okay,
Yeah.
that's
So-
very
Then they can now probably infuse like throws with
Mm.
but neutrals as well, but not something extremely loud that can impact how
Okay.
you eventually feel.
So for people who work from home, for instance, because you said you don't like white lights
White
at
for
home,
house.
but
Yes.
it's fine to use that in like office spaces. So I want to believe we'll have some audience who probably work from home, right?
The chosen
And
ones.
They say the
Yeah.
They
chosen
are
one.
working remote.
They
Look
work
at the Lord's
remotely.
chosen.
If you were in their shoes, how would you set up your house?
Also, very easy, right?
Okay.
So your regular light, like spotlights, all of that can be warm white,
Warm white.
and then your table lamp, in the space the space that we dedicated for work. Not that it's in the living room or in the bedroom. I always beg my clients that they should please not bring in their table. Some people in their rooms, they have the table, they have printer,
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
everything. So in the room that you're supposed to be relaxed, be resting, even if you're not working, the fact that
You're
you're seeing a
seeing
table,
there,
you're seeing
yes,
printer,
yes.
papers, you're ready in. So I always try as much as possible, even if it's on the corridor. If you don't have space,
Put it there.
put on the corridor, because once you're in the bedroom, you want that space to just be very relaxing. So you have a dedicated space. And this happened for us a lot. Like after COVID lockdown, we began to get lots of inquiries and people reaching out to us
Work
that
from home space.
yes, come and do like a home office. So we just convert maybe like the guest
Bedroom.
room or something into a proper
Workstation.
workstation. So we will do the spotlights warm, and then on the table itself have like table lamps or even standing lamps as well that can. And then now you have lighting that you can do 3-in-1 where
Yeah,
you
so it's warm.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
ring
have-
lights are sometimes it's white, sometimes it's
yeah, exactly,
light warm.
exactly,
Okay,
exactly. So you
okay.
can actually play with that as well. So that's like another option. But it's always just for me. It's usually very good when you have like see here now we have like warm white, and then it's just like really cool. Imagine if it was like white,
Ash.
fluorescent
Yeah,
white,
yeah.
like as simple as that changes. it can
The impact
the
is
impact is
significant.
significant. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's very interesting. I was going to think like, so when people like start working from home, people have reached out to you.
Mm-hmm.
What are the elements that we should have like in our work, in our home offices? Because the future of work is really hybrid,
Mm-hmm,
right? So if we're not going to the office that has like our desk, that has like our laptops, what are elements that we can put in our home offices such that is not so sharp? You know how like this is the room, this is the office. So it's sort of infused into the home. So yes, it's an office, but it's also a home office. What kind of elements?
I
What
think
are the
at the end
things
of the
people
day,
should?
it actually even still boils down to the individual,
Okay.
how much space that they have
Okay, that's a real constraint.
to play with. Some people, even though it's a home office, they still want it to double as guest room. So if you have a 2-bed and you know that
people are still
people are
coming.
still coming.
But I need to work. And you work from
Big
parlor.
Ben is coming to visit. You
Ben is
say,
coming.
Big Ben, say, please give me. I want to come and
I
spend
want
the
to come and spend
weekend.
weekend.
And you say you can't sleep on table. You
can't sleep- you sleep-
Or
you
four
sleep
by
in the
six
parlor.
bed by the table and everything.
Or even you as well. Sometimes maybe you're working late into the night and you just feel like, let me just crash from here.
Yeah.
So I would say that you have like your regular table, a very good ergonometric chair, where so because the thing with working from home is that you can be tempted. You can actually start from 8 o'clock in the morning
bed.
till almost midnight because
Lying
you're
down.
working.
True. Not be hunched over like-
Exactly.
hunched over like
Because you're
this.
working from home. There's no clear boundary.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if you're working in the office,
5
you know that
o'clock.
once it's 5, like this, carry
Bye
your
bye,
bag.
you have gone.
You don't jackpot.
Working from home round the clock, man.
round
They
the
will-
clock. Yeah. So you need like a really good chair that can support. If not, before you know what's happening, after 1 year, 2 years, you're already visiting the doctor because of like backache and all of that. So you have that, and you have proper lighting, and then you can decide to also have like bookshelves where you keep your things neatly and just make everything extremely organized. Like really important, making sure that the space is organized. Even though it's an home office, you also want to be able to go in and ensure that, because again, remember, whether it's at home, whether it's at the office, you want to have a space that promotes efficiency, which is very
Which is
important.
very important. Okay,
Very
great.
important.
Like a space you can productive.
Yes,
Okay,
so
that-
productive.
What are like the top 3 mistakes you see people make in how they set up their homes, for instance? Yeah. Because people design their houses
let's not say
differently.
mistakes. Let's not use the word. That mistake is harsh.
Okay.
Let's say things that maybe are not best practice.
All right, all right.
In the industry.
Yeah.
Like whole things that you've seen that maybe you can do without.
Yeah, so I would say first off will be furniture.
I say white light. I was so white light because she's really anti-white. She's like, I don't want
I'm
white
even
light.
anti-white light.
That's
I won't
what
even
I'm
lie. I
I
won't
don't
even
want
lie.
white light.
I don't want. But the first thing I would say is furniture, right?
Okay.
So sometimes you walk into a space and you realize that there's no balance in terms of the furniture. It's either the furniture is extremely big, too big for the space, or it's too small for the space, right? So you need to ensure that you have the right size of furniture. That's 1. 2, I'll go back to lighting as well. Some places are poorly lit, some places are overly lit, like the light is just too much for that space, and some spaces, it's not, the lighting is not enough, and so it doesn't make you efficient, and it also impacts on the well-being and how you process things. I would say another mistake would also be in terms of like color, right? And if your paint, imagine that just paint maybe like 4 different colors in just one space, right? Because you just want to be adventurous, or you paint one side red, another place blue, another place yellow,
Because
another.
you saw it in a
There was a
video.
time that kind of thing was
Yes,
ready.
picture wall.
Tantalizer things. You'll be giving us the color.
Giving us the colors.
Yeah, so people actually do really make mistakes. Another thing would be the curtains as well. So your window treatments. Some people,
I find it so interesting.
Yeah.
You guys call it window treatments now. Guys, so growing up was just cutting.
Yes,
Now
yes,
They call curtains window treatment.
Oh,
now.
yeah, so that's the
So
word.
they call
Yeah,
so the term
curtains,
is window
the
treatment. So
blinds,
before
all of
cutting,
that.
day blinds,
blinds,
the
yes.
shutter blinds,
Yes, everything is called the window treatment,
Wow.
right?
Before it was just cutting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to see
You're
how these things
welcome.
have evolved.
You've learned now. So when
Run me my check,
Yeah,
please.
I will.
So
That's
yeah,
fine.
so that can also impact. Imagine, some people make the mistake of starting their curtains right above that window sill, but then it dwarfs the space.
So you
So
want
you
them
have to
top,
want to
take
make
it
it
up.
really up. But then sometimes I don't even blame some interior. Well, I would still blame them sharpers. Sometimes I don't blame, but the way I'm now coming for developers.
Look, everybody's fighting. So go ahead. You can take your
The way
shot.
developers build, that's where they will now go and put the AC
Yes.
On top
So
of
there's
the
no space
window.
for that.
so there's
Yeah.
no
to put
space. Do you
the
understand?
the
So what we do is that the first thing when we're having consultation with the client, all those things we are checking because we
Okay.
need to first rearrange, let it first set because it doesn't make sense to then start the curtains
cutting
from
on that. Then
Yeah.
if the
on
AC is
that.
leaking water,
If
it's
the
now
AC
where
is
the
Yeah,
apart
cuts
from
and all
that,
those
it just
things.
looks very terrible and
Clumsy.
awkward and so we
Okay.
want to shift it away and then do like a proper window curtain from top to bottom. It just makes the entire space feel better, just more beautiful. So those are some of the things. If you don't know, you just feel like by just doing
Share is
it, just
cutting, share is
exactly, share is
Exactly,
cutting. So
yeah.
there are many things like that. But I would also say that there have been hindrances that we faced,
Okay.
just walking into the space and many design mistakes from the building itself. So as an interior designer, you first have to correct those things, let them be in place before you now even start.
So let me
your
give you an
proper-
example.
Yeah,
Like if
please
there's no
give us.
natural lights now, how do you
Yeah.
correct it?
You see, this one is actually also a big deal. A big
I say it's
deal.
a cross. This is the cross out of your carrying.
It's a big deal.
Nigerians are not
So we
building with
always
that
when
in
we
mind.
have situations like that, we see if we can actually create a window.
Oh really?
Yes. Now the constraint sometimes is that is either if you're in a rented apartment, for example,
Can't
Yeah,
break
you
your
might
you
not
can't
be
break
able to-
landlords
for window.
Yeah.
For window.
window.
Call.
Or even if you have your own house, the estates can tell you that there's
Yeah.
a particular way everybody's
Body's house
outside
should
must look
look.
like. So if
Okay.
you're not breaking that place, you will start distorting the entire look and feel of the estate. So we have like those
Constraints.
limitations sometimes.
Okay.
What we then do is then we now introduce artificial lighting to ensure that the space is well lit. But remember that the window stuff is not only about lighting; it's also about cross ventilation.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to the developer. Sometimes just one window in one space. So how does this thing cross?
Use
Does it-
fan. You put on standing fan.
exactly. Because you need like more than one to give you
Outlets
that
in and out.
yes, to give you that
Okay.
cross ventilation that you're looking for. So if you just one, you see we're not cross at all.
So a while ago,
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere where people were having this argument in living room, in bedrooms, curtain or blinds. Which would you
So I would
recommend?
always say that for living room, definitely curtains. If you do blinds in living room, I mean, like you can get away with it sometimes, but it just gives you like office vibes,
energy.
especially when you're not
Yeah,
using
yeah.
wooden blinds for the living room.
That's the absolute worst.
Do you
Those wooden
see?
ones.
So, but for bedrooms, sometimes, so I always still would prefer curtains in bedrooms
So
as
basically
well.
for house, do curtain.
But some bedrooms, because of the way the windows are set up, I would even say maybe like you can do the day and night blinds, right?
Okay.
Because that one still gives you, it's not the wooden blind, but it still gives you like that
That's
material
it,
fabric.
reflect,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
effect. Sometimes you can have like, have you not entered bedroom where you see 6 windows? Like small,
Yeah,
just small,
yeah.
just small,
Everyone
like
will
have.
so
Everyone will
exactly.
have.
So imagine having
Exactly.
curtains, so it can feel clustered. Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
in those instances, we just go for like the day and night blind. So it just eases out the space. It doesn't make the space feel. So there's science to this. So it's
Yes.
Okay, so now I like that you said there's
Space
science to it. So did you go to? I mean, you said you were thinking of going back to school. Did you go back to school? Or
yes.
did you
So 4 years
just
into
learn on the job?
so but one thing about me is that once I want to start something, once I decide that this is what I want to do, and I don't allow anything derail me. So at the time I knew that I wanted to attend like an interior school that was abroad, not in Nigeria. And at
What's
the time
wrong
I did
with
not have
Nigerian
money. You know how it is. So it's not only me, but you know how it is now. And you do with Nigerians are like, oh, what interior school
So
did you
go?
go to?
Okay.
So the clients, and there's some projects and maybe even commercial as well. They want to be able to say, oh, you went to so it's like that. It's not really about me. People are vain, so it's them.
It's them. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
the market
the
demands
market
that.
demands
Okay,
that
the market
exactly. So
demands
it's
that.
okay. Let's play to that. So but then 4 years into it, I then enrolled into New York Institute of Arts and Design,
Oh, okay.
where then I got my interior design diploma.
Did you learn a lot from it, or you already knew most of the things?
So it was easier,
okay,
right? Because so most of the things that they were teaching were things that I already experienced on site, and before then I'd self-taught myself.
Oh, okay.
Right, so YouTube. most websites, blogs, different things I could lay my hands
Yeah.
on for like 2 years straight.
So
So
University of the Internet.
exactly, Google was literally my best friend at the time. So that's
Okay.
what I used to learn. And then when I'm now on site, I would begin to practicalize all the things that
Yeah.
I've learned, or see the things that, oh, okay, I saw this here, I made, or this is what this is about. So that's how so for me it was everything, experience, learning, and then finally, but I still want to add some certifications to what I already have.
Even
And
after
also,
10 years in the game.
in
They are
fact,
still keeping your toes.
so we
I
need
think she's
to-
planning
yeah.
to raise her fees, so that's
As this, this 10 years, she will do relaunch. She will do anniversary. When she now does,
anniversary.
she will do anniversary. Then she will now say, yesterday's price is not
Is that
today's
today's
price.
price again?
I've not had that degree on top, so the price has
that's
gone up.
the-
And I
so
asked that
that's-
question because there might be people who, want to get into the industry. There are people who think, oh, I don't have a degree in this. I don't think I can do it. But I mean, I'm glad that you've said this, because it will encourage someone to say, just try your hands at it. Try. And it's a low barrier to entry market.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Exactly.
So
That's so key.
In
Yeah, very
concluding,
true.
I don't think a lot of people understand the impact of interior decor to mental health. So how do you see these two, evolving in the near future?
Oh no, like in fact, I feel like people should just be telling us thank you all the time. Oh,
no, I feel
thank
like
you.
they know, but they don't know that is what it is. You know how, like,
Okay,
you know
yeah,
something is
yeah.
affecting you, but
Yeah,
you can't
but
really
you
put
can't
your
really
hand.
say
Can't
this
really
is
put
it.
your
You can't
hand-
put your
yes.
hand on
And that's
it.
why I keep saying that you enter into a space, and when you like, oh my goodness, this place looks beautiful, just say thank you to the interior designer, because they've done like an amazing job for you to notice and understand that, oh, this space was properly designed. Sometimes not even only just how beautiful the space is, the function, like the
Yeah.
specific thing that has been done. So you have people, so for example, maybe those that are, how do you call them now? Not disabled, but I think as
Physically challenged people.
well, I don't know, maybe it's even, anyways, but you get my point. So you get into a space and they have not been catered to, right?
Sure.
So
They're only
they're
stairs. There's
only
no
stairs,
ramp.
no
Yeah.
ram. Even as simple as the height of the sockets,
switches. Yeah,
switches
the
and
height of the
sockets. Yes,
socket.
you want to switch. Remember, if
Even
somebody's
if
on
you're sitting,
wheelchair,
they should be able
Yeah,
to
they
they
can
can't be
still-
standing all the time. So it should be at that level. In the bathrooms, there should be like grab holds for them. Things like that. That, okay, yeah, this place was actually designed with such people in mind, and even for you as the individual that is not physically disabled, you should also see that this space, caters to my needs and my functions, as well as, it's also soothing. The colors, everything is just balanced, and everything is in harmony, the entire space. So yeah, so that at the end of the day affects your mental health, because you don't want to stress by you've been stressed all day, you come back into a space and your space
Your house
is
is
now
now putting
adding
you under pressure.
Adding-
You understand?
the pressure has now gotten
That's-
worse.
I really learned something from
Yeah.
this thing you said. So sometimes I have my laptop in the bedroom, and
On the
it's
bed.
easy to
Yeah.
sometimes on the
Yeah.
When
bed
we're working
even.
from home,
Yeah.
So you just small
8
thing, you
o'clock,
open your
I will
laptop
just
and
roll
start.
over. We'll never
Yeah.
get up.
Yeah. So just try
So you
to
never just zone out of work at all.
Yeah. So you want to have a space that is like your
Dedicated.
sanctuary.
Yeah.
So even if it's another room that's nobody's there, you can put all that work in that space, and then when you get into this space, it's a no work zone, and then you can just Netflix and chill, watch a movie and sleep off from
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just ensure that the space is good. So yeah, at the end of the day, everything is tailored towards our mental
Well-being.
well-being.
Oh, okay.
A well-designed space will definitely impact on your well-being. Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's amazing.
listeners, if you, like me, went to University of Pinterest to do up your space, there are some tips, and there are tips that I hope you have taken from this episode. Natural light, dedicated workspaces, nice colors. You want to play with scents, textures in your spaces, the lights, warm lights. You stay away from white lights. All of those things. So take those tips, because it's not every time you get this opportunity to speak
Exactly.
to
The
someone
next
that has
time
10 years.
I'm charging you.
She's
Yes.
charging. Give me come with an invoice. So thank you so much for rocking with
Thank
us.
you
Thank
very
you
much
so
for
much,
having me.
Monica. It was
Thank
really
Such a
nice
great
having you with us.
conversation.
Thank
The tips
you,
were
thank you.
outstanding.
Thank you.
So, to our listeners at home, thank you for rocking with us. Till next time, have a lovely
Bye.
time. Bye.